On one side of the peaceful kingdom of Sukoonatpur, there was a mesmerizing lake, its waters a deep, glowing blue. Every day the princess would come there to bathe, unaware that this very lake would become the turning point of her destiny, a destiny that would reveal a truth she could never have imagined. Just like every other day, Princess Neelam arrived at the lake with her maids. She sat by the shore, admiring the beauty of nature, the cool breeze, the still water, and the quiet all around. But not far from the lake stood a dark, dense forest, mysterious and a little terrifying. Suddenly, the princess heard the sound of wood being chopped. Curious, she looked toward the forest. Who could be cutting wood in such a dangerous place? Her heart filled with intrigue, and she decided to see for herself. As she stepped into the shadows of the forest, her eyes fell upon a young man, chopping wood. He was handsome, so much so that the princess couldn't take her eyes off him. She walked closer, her maids following behind. Startled by the sudden presence of royal company, the young man looked up and stepped back. "Forgive me," he said nervously. "Did I do something wrong?" The princess smiled softly and replied, "No, not at all. I was at the lake when I heard the sound of someone chopping wood. I just wanted to see who it was." "Who are you? Do you live in the nearby village?" Princess Neelam was already intrigued by the young man. He looked down for a moment and then spoke. "My name is Arif. I'm just a poor man. My father passed away long ago. Chopping wood is the only way I can earn enough to feed myself and my mother. She's old and can't work anymore. So this is all we have." The princess looked at him with compassion and admiration. "You're very handsome," she said gently. "Can we be friends?" Arif stood silent, unsure of what to say. The idea of a princess wanting to be friends with him felt unreal. Sensing his hesitation, the princess reassured him. "Don't worry, no one will ever know. This will be our little secret, just between the two of us." "Don't worry," the princess whispered softly. "We'll meet here at the lake, every day." Though Arif lived in poverty, his heart still held dreams, long buried beneath the weight of hardship. And now, the beauty and kindness of Princess Neelam had lit a new flame inside him. Their bond deepened with every passing day. Arif would smile more often, and even his daily trips to the forest to chop wood felt lighter. Because before anything else, he would meet the princess. This lake, hidden within the forest, was now their secret haven, a place where royalty and simplicity met. No one else was allowed near it, and that secrecy brought them even closer. But neither of them knew that their secret meetings were being watched. A force, unseen but very real, was observing them. A force that would soon twist their fate in a way they could never imagine. What began as friendship soon turned into love. The princess could no longer bear a single day without seeing Arif. Yet deep inside, she knew the harsh truth. Her father, the king, would never allow her to marry a poor woodcutter. And so she carried her love with quiet sorrow, hiding her tears behind gentle smiles. Arif, too, had fallen deeply in love. He would spend hours thinking about Princess Neelam, her laughter echoing in his heart. One day, his mother noticed the weather turning dangerously bad. "Son," she warned, "there's a storm coming. The skies are angry. Don't go into the forest today." But Arif smiled and replied, "Mother, these storms don't scare me anymore. I have to go today." "Why?" she asked, sensing something deeper. That's when Arif finally told her everything about the princess, their meetings, their love. His mother was shaken. "No, son, for God's sake, don't do this," she pleaded. "If the king finds out, he will have you executed. We're already crushed by poverty. This kind of love is not meant for people like us." But Arif was calm. "Nothing will happen, mother. You just worry too much." Despite the violent storm, pouring rain, and roaring winds, Arif made his way toward the forest, driven by love. His mother's voice echoed in his mind. "She's a princess, my son. What if she's just amusing herself? Would she really wait for you in a storm like this?" But when Arif reached the lake, there she was, Princess Neelam, soaked in rain, yet smiling, waiting just for him. At that moment, Arif's love deepened even more. They sat by the edge of the lake, the rain falling gently around them. cool winds brushing their faces. They talked of love, of dreams, of a world where they could be together, unaware that fate was already preparing to strike. Suddenly a woman appeared, riding a horse, her presence dark and intense. She stepped down and marched straight toward the princess. "Princess Neelam," she called out sharply. "What are you doing here? Should I tell your father what you've been up to?" Startled, Neelam stood her ground. "Who are you? And what business do you have with me? I'll do as I please." The woman's voice was cold and commanding. "You don't know who I am, do you? I came to warn you. Stop meeting this young man. You are meant for my son, and when he wants something, he always gets it." Neelam narrowed her eyes. "Your son? I don't even know who he is. And how dare you tell me what to do? I am Princess Neelam. I will speak to whomever I choose. My heart is mine alone." But what the princess didn't know was that these very words would open a dark chapter in her life, a door to a destiny she never imagined. But Arif stepped forward and said firmly, "Who are you to separate us? You can't come between our love. We love each other deeply, and soon we'll be married." Hearing this, the woman's eyes flared with rage. "That will never happen," she snapped, mounting her horse and storming off toward the royal palace. There, she barged into the court, fuming. "O king," she shouted, "you sit here surrounded by honor, while your daughter brings shame to your name. She's fallen in love with a poor woodcutter. Go to the lake at Sukoonatpur and see the disgrace for yourself." The king's face darkened with fury. "Witch, what lies are you spreading? My daughter would never do such a thing. I know your greedy heart, and let me make one thing clear. My daughter will never marry the son of a sorceress like you." But just then, Princess Neelam entered the palace, holding Arif's hand. "Father," she said bravely, "what this woman says is true. I love Arif, and I don't care that I'm a princess. Love doesn't recognize wealth, status, or power. It only sees the goodness in a person's soul, and Arif is a kind man." The king looked at his daughter, and then he smiled. "My dear child, your happiness is my happiness. I don't care if Arif is poor. If he makes you smile, that is enough for me." But the sorceress standing nearby could hardly contain her rage. Yes, she was no ordinary woman. She was a powerful enchantress, and the entire kingdom knew of her dark powers. "King," she warned, "my son desires the princess. He loves her, and I will not allow his heart to be broken. Don't force me to act. If I do, your entire kingdom may crumble under my wrath." The king's eyes flared. "How dare you threaten me in my own court? Leave now. My daughter will marry whom she chooses." Then turning to Arif, the king said, "Son, from this day forth, you shall never meet my daughter in secret again, because your union is no longer a secret. I have decided you two will be wed, but only under one condition." Arif and Neelam leaned in, listening closely. "You must work hard for 1 month," the king declared. "And on the day of the wedding, you must gift my daughter a necklace made of diamonds, bought with your own earnings. That is my only condition. I hope you accept it." "Neelam, I expect no arguments." Then the king turned and walked away, leaving the lovers both shocked and overjoyed. A new beginning awaited them. After leaving the palace, Arif returned home beaming with joy. His mother noticed the light in his eyes. "Son, you look so happy today. What's happened?" Arif smiled. "Mother, I've received the greatest blessing of my life. The king has agreed to my marriage with Princess Neelam. We'll be wed in 1 month. But there is a condition." "What condition, my son?" she asked. "The king has asked me to present a diamond necklace to Neelam as a wedding gift, earned through my own hard work. Do you think I can gather that much money in just 1 month?" His mother placed her hand on his shoulder and smiled warmly. "Don't worry, my son. I've saved some gold and money over the years. And with your hard work, I believe we'll have enough to craft that necklace. This is the beginning of a new life for us." And so, hope began to bloom in the hearts of a mother and her son. A new chapter of dreams, love, and promise. The final month had begun. Arif was working day and night, pouring every drop of energy into his labor. Each day passed slowly, his heart counting the seconds until the day he could see Neelam again. He hadn't met her in all that time, and that only deepened the longing in his heart. By day he chopped wood. By evening he would continue working in the forest. His hands were blistered and bleeding, but his love was pure. The day was fast approaching, the day that would change his fate. Finally, the moment arrived. Arif turned to his mother. "Amma, bring the gold. Let's count the money. I want to see if we have enough." Together they counted the coins. And yes, they had enough to buy the diamond necklace. With joy in their hearts, Arif and his mother went to the jeweler. Combining his hard-earned money and his mother's gold, they commissioned a beautiful necklace, sparkling with love, for Princess Neelam. Arif's eyes were shining with joy. His mother, moved to tears, said, "My son, you've worked so hard. I'm proud to have raised a man with such a pure heart. May God bless you with a lifetime of happiness." Arif gifted his mother a beautiful dress for the occasion. They both returned home, dressed in their finest clothes, holding the precious necklace, ready to visit the palace. A month had passed, and Arif's love for Neelam had only grown stronger. But when they reached the palace, something felt wrong. The atmosphere was heavy, the air silent. The king sat on his throne, broken and somber. The moment he saw Arif, he said with a heavy voice, "Why have you come here, young man?" "My daughter, Neelam. She has left this world. She's gone. Forever. You must leave. I can't bear to look at you. You remind me of her. Please go, and never return to this palace." The ground slipped from under Arif's feet. "No, this can't be true. How can Neelam be gone?" But the king did not let him speak further. His mother burst into tears. "I told you, son, our love stories don't belong in palaces. We are poor, our hearts are fragile, and our dreams so easily shattered." Arif collapsed, broken. The box in his hand slipped, and the necklace fell to the floor, scattering like his hopes. He held it tightly, sobbing. "Neelam, I waited so long for this day. You promised me we would be one. Were those just empty words? I worked day and night, built this necklace with blood and pain. And now, where are you?" The palace fell into mourning. Even the winds seemed to cry that day. The king, with tears in his eyes, whispered, "Young man, please leave. Don't come back. My kingdom has no more joy to offer you." Broken-hearted, Arif returned home with his mother. But after that day, he was never the same. His heart had shattered. He no longer smiled. He sat for hours, staring at the necklace, weeping. Each night passed sleepless, his eyes hollow, swollen with sorrow. Each evening, he wandered to the lake at Sukoonatpur and wept, remembering the eternal love he had lost. Each evening, Arif would return to the lake at Sukoonatpur and remember those precious moments, moments where he and Neelam dreamt of a life together. But fate had written a different story, a cruel twist that turned his dreams to ashes. To this day, he didn't know how Neelam died. He never found out why he wasn't even allowed to see her one last time. Arif's mother, too, was growing worried. He was no longer the same Arif. No laughter, no light in his eyes. He had become a shadow of the man he once was. Quiet, alone. One day, his mother sat beside him and gently said, "My son, for your mother's sake, let this sorrow go. Every time I see you like this, I curse myself. I wish I had never sent you to cut wood by the lake that day. We poor folk were never meant for happiness. Please let her go, accept what fate has written, and move on." Arif tried, for his mother, to hide the pain, but it was a sorrow that had seeped deep into his soul, one that time could not erase. With each passing day, he worked again, cutting wood, running the house, but he was changed. He kept himself busy for his mother's happiness. Then one night, Arif had a dream. In it, he saw Neelam, standing by the lake, crying, calling out to him, "Arif, if you don't come to save me, our love will burn to ashes. Save me, Arif, please." He woke up in a cold sweat. His heart was pounding. His mother rushed in with water. "What's wrong, son? Did you have a bad dream?" "Amma, That wasn't a dream. It felt real, as if Neelam was there, calling out for help. She's alive, Amma. My Neelam is alive. Tears rolled down his mother's cheeks. She held him close and said, maybe her soul is restless, and that's why she visits your dreams. But please, my son, don't let your life turn colorless for love that may never return. That night, Arif cried silently, but he promised his mother, Amma, I won't let you suffer because of my pain anymore. The next morning, after offering his morning prayers, he walked toward the forest. He had buried the sorrow deep within, but Neelam's love still lived in the quiet corners of his heart. He never married, never wanted to. That evening, after collecting the firewood, he was walking home, the bundle of wood resting on his shoulders. Suddenly he stumbled. Something hard struck his foot. The bundle fell to the ground. Wood scattered everywhere, and there, in front of him, was an old weathered chest. A letter was attached to it. Written on it were the words, what is hidden behind the veil of sight will be seen with the eyes of the heart. The one who never truly parted will one day call again. If you believe, she awaits beyond the light. The time has come to open the door. His heartbeat raced. His hands trembled. Could it be? Was Neelam really alive? Without wasting a moment, Arif grabbed the chest and the letter and ran home. Amma, look at this. It means Neelam might be alive. She's in trouble, and only I can save her. His mother said softly, son, what are you trying to find now? She's gone, and the dead never return. Amma, look at this letter. Read what's written on it. These words, they speak of something else. They hint that Neelam is still alive. His mother's voice trembled. Where did you find this, my child? Amma, I was bringing firewood home. I stumbled and my foot struck this old chest. When I opened it, this letter was inside. And look, what's written here? Can this really be a coincidence? No, there's a truth hidden in this that we don't know yet. His mother sighed. Son, look how old this is. These words don't prove she's alive. Not every word means what we want it to mean. I know you're suffering. Everything you see reminds you of Neelam's love. But don't lose yourself in this illusion. Don't put yourself through more pain. Amma, no, I must uncover the truth. She tried to stop him, but he didn't listen. With the letter in hand, he went straight to a wise old man. Babaji, he said, you know my heart. I've told you everything. Neelam comes to me in dreams, like she's calling out for help. And today I found this chest, right in the middle of the forest. Why was it there? And why did I find it? The old man read the letter, and tears filled his eyes. Son, these words, they speak of deep sorrow. It feels like the one you love is in grave trouble. And yes, it even seems she might still be alive. Fate is about to turn, and your life will never be the same. If you want to know whether Neelam is alive or truly gone, you must ask her father how she died. And whatever he says, come back and tell me. Without delay, Arif went to the king and told him everything. The king replied, Son, Neelam was in the royal garden. She wandered into the rose grove and asked the handmaids to leave. She wanted to be alone. No one checked on her until evening. When they did, she was gone. Then an old woman came crying and said, O king, your daughter has died. She's been carried away by the river. She left after that, and from that day, Neelam was lost to us. We've longed for a glimpse of her ever since. Arif returned and told the old man. The wise one said, It seems Neelam may still be alive, but the truth is hidden, and to uncover it, you must endure great hardship. This will be a trial of your love. If your love is true, you might reach your destiny. You must go to that cave. You'll face terrifying things, but you must go. For her life, for your love, for the truth. Arif went home but didn't tell his mother. He knew she'd never let him go. To him, life now felt like a dream, something magical, unreal. But Neelam's love wouldn't let him rest. And so he entered that dark, cursed forest. Strange, fearsome voices echoed all around. Still, he held his courage close. He told himself he was alone. Finally, he reached the cave. As he took a step toward its mouth, a voice rang out, laughing. "Don't go inside. If you do, you'll never come back. This is a trap. I led you here. If you fall for this illusion, you'll never see life again. Go back. There's nothing here. No truth. Only lies. Leave, now." Fear crept into Arif's heart. Was this really a betrayal? Was Neelam truly gone? Strange, dark thoughts clouded Arif's heart. But then, he remembered the old man's words. Every fear will try to stop you, but only your love, your true love, will guide you through this cave. With fearless steps, Arif walked into the cave, and the moment he entered, the voices stopped. Silence. Inside, he saw a glowing blue stone. He picked it up, and just as his fingers wrapped around it, she appeared, the witch, the sorceress, laughing cruelly. "I warned you. Neelam belongs only to my son, and if she can't be his, then she'll belong to no one." She pointed, and before Arif stood a cold stone statue. "This is your Neelam. Take her if you can." She laughed again, more viciously this time. "She can never come back to life. She is trapped, sealed within a spell so powerful, even time cannot undo it. You fool, you should never have come here. Now you will never leave, alive." Arif stood frozen, his mind spinning, his heart breaking. What was this cruel twist of fate? What game was destiny playing with him? Meanwhile, far from that dark cave, his mother wandered the streets, the alleys, the woods, searching desperately for her son. It was night. Silence blanketed everything. The air was thick with fear. Dogs howled in the distance. Still she searched, her heart calling out to him. But Arif was nowhere. Crying, she reached the edge of a shimmering lake. The water glowed under the moonlight. The stars twinkled overhead. There was something strangely peaceful about this place. She wept, kneeling by the water. "My son's love took him from me. It separated us forever. Oh Allah, was our fate truly so colorless? I never imagined this. I lived in hope, his hope, and now that hope is gone. I no longer have a right to live." She stood at the edge. "Oh lake, take me, hide me within you forever. Let this world never see my face again." Back in the cave, silence. Flickering shadows danced across the walls, as if they too felt the ache in Arif's heart. In his hand, the glowing blue stone, a stone that held some vast, unknown truth. His heart pounded. In front of him stood Neelam, frozen in marble, lifeless, trapped in time. Tears welled in Arif's eyes. "Neelam, I've carried you in my heart every single moment. I knew you were alive, somewhere, breathing under the shelter of my love." His voice cracked. Her face was coated in the dust of years, like time itself had wrapped her in chains. Then, one single tear fell from Arif's eye, a tear born from the deepest corner of his love, and it landed on the blue stone. As it touched the stone, a burst of radiant light exploded. The cave trembled, the walls shook. Golden waves of light rippled in every direction. Neelam's stone skin began to glow. Slowly, it shimmered. Something was breaking, unraveling. Arif watched in disbelief. Her fingers, they moved. Color returned to her lips. And then, she blinked. "Arif." Her voice was soft, fragile, trembling like the whisper of a forgotten dream. Arif's soul stirred awake. For a moment, he couldn't move. Was this real? Was he dreaming? Number Neelam was alive. She was really alive. And Arif, moved by something deeper than words, reached out to her. He held her in his arms. Neelam, her voice trembling, whispered, "You came. I knew you would." Tears filled Arif's eyes again. But this time, they were tears of joy. The light in the cave began to dim. The magic was fading. Neelam gripped his hands tightly. "We won, Neelam. Our love defeated every spell, every test." She smiled gently, looking into his eyes, And in that moment, their hearts beat in perfect rhythm, as if they had finally become whole. Together they decided they would return to the place where their love had first blossomed and begin a new life, right from that sacred spot. But as they reached the lake, they saw something that froze their hearts. Arif's mother was about to throw herself into the water. Without thinking, Arif called out, "Ami, stop!" She turned, startled by the voice, and there he was. Arif, holding Neelam's hand, standing tall, alive, eyes filled with tears. She ran to them, arms wide open, and wrapped them both in a trembling embrace. That day, fate opened the door to joy. After countless trials, their love had finally found its destination. They say true love has no end. Some even say it never finds a destination, but that's a lie. The real destination is always found by true love, and not just love for people, but the love for the Almighty. Because when love is pure, when the heart is sincere, it leads you to a place where the pleasures of this world fade away, and only the warmth of divine love remains. And in the end, the kind-hearted, the loyal, they always win. Yes, when love is true, the destination always finds you. Above the lake, the stars glowed a deep blue, as if the universe itself had witnessed this love, as if it too was saying, true love never loses. We hope today's story touched your heart. If it did, don't forget to share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more soulful, heartwarming tales. From the bottom of our hearts, we pray, may Allah unite every heart that loves sincerely. Don't forget to type Ameen in the comments. Jazak Allah khair.